Hello there. In this video, I'll show you how to remove the rear bumper from a late Nissan Micra K11, which you may need to do if yours has been damaged. Now, in principle, this is a quick, easy job, so it shouldn't take too long. But before we get started, I've got to sort through this massive junk behind me and find the necessary tools. Welcome to CarSpyTV. Okay, let's start work on the near side. Specifically, we need to look at this left rear corner. And what we need to do first is undo a bolt, and that bolt is easy enough to find. So just follow the shut joint of the bumper skin along like this until you get to the end of it there. And then when you have a look behind there, there's barely room for my camera, but I'll do my best. If you look just there, at the end of my thumb, that is the bolt we need to undo. Now the head of the bolt is covered in mud, so I'm just going to give it a quick clean with this brush to help the socket grip it a little bit better. There we go. And now we need a 10mm socket, and I'm going to add an extension barge to make access a little bit easier. Pop it on the right way round, that will help, won't it? There we go. Now, let's see if it comes out easily. Fingers crossed. Yes, it's moving. Half the battle with working on cars is getting bolts undone. So this one is coming out very nicely. There we go. So we can see already that the corner of the bumper is coming loose. There we are. But there is, as you might expect, a bit more work to do. Right, we now need to undo a plastic clip, which is easy enough to find. It is roughly there, albeit of course on the underside of the bumper, so I'll give you a view from under there now. Right, we're now under the car. This is the left rear wheel. The bolt we've already removed came from up there. See that? And the plastic clip we're looking for now is just up there. Now, sometimes this type of clip comes undone nice and easily, but on other occasions it's a real pain in the neck. So, how you remove your particular clip is going to depend whether or not it wants to cooperate. Either way, there's a technique that works. Now, rather than try and show you those different techniques under the car where there's very little space, what I'll do is show you on this clip, which is more or less the same, but slightly smaller, and we can do that inside here on the back seat. Now, to remove this type of clip, we first need to remove the pin from its centre, and you can see there it accepts a Phillips screwdriver bit. So simply pop in your Phillips screwdriver, undo the pin like so, until it comes all the way out. Then pop that somewhere safe, and then you'll take a flat-headed screwdriver, get behind what's left of the clip and simply wedge it out like so, and then it's happy days. But that assumes everything goes well. Now, if things don't go well, you may find that rather than undo, this pin just spins on the spot, however hard you work it with your Phillips screwdriver. This is very common and very irritating. Now, the solution has worked for me in the past, at least on quite a few occasions, is to get a flat-headed screwdriver, pop it behind the clip, and then apply some upwards pressure, in other words, lever it a bit like that in the direction you want the pin to move, and while applying that leverage, simultaneously undo the pin with the Phillips screwdriver, and more often than not, I find that works. And if that doesn't work, I get fed up, then grab a big pair of pliers and just force the clip out any way I can. And yes, that does destroy the clip, but it's not the end of the world because you can buy replacements on eBay for a modest price. Anyway, let's get back under the bumper and see if that particular clip wants to come undone. And I'm going to put these protective glasses on because underneath the car there's a whole load of rust and mud and dirt falling down, and I don't want it in my eyes. Right, let's see if it comes unscrewed the easy way. Cross your fingers. I've already got a torch on here so I can see something. Right. Okay, come on now. No. Okay, let's try it with the leverage option of the flat head behind it. Right, so we get the flathead screwdriver behind the clip. Give it some leverage, like so. And then try with a Phillips screwdriver. No. This works quite often, but not today. Okay. Right. We're going to have to get more aggressive. Right, big pliers and brute force is going to be my solution. And I just have to accept that this is going to break the clip. But it doesn't matter, because I will replace it with something. Finally. So as we can see, the plastic clip has been removed. It was up there, and that means we can turn our attention up here. Now let's get the camera to focus. There we go. Now this piece of plastic, if I can get my screwdriver in, is attached to the bumper itself. And when we pull the bumper off, it's going to have to effectively slide over this shelf, and it may be a little reluctant to move because this bumper hasn't been off the car, well, ever, as far as I know. So just to encourage it slightly, I'm going to just push that plastic up like that, and the same at the sides, just to hopefully make it a bit more inclined to slide over that metal shelf. And I may well give that a squirt of lubricant as well, just to make life even easier. It's also a good idea to get the inner wheel arch liner away from the bumper so that it doesn't get in the way when we pull the bumper off the car. That looks about right, and now all we have to do is repeat all these steps on the other side of the car, and then, fingers crossed, the bumper will be ready to slide off. So there's the bumper skin, successfully removed from the car. And these things always look surprisingly big when they're no longer attached. And if you forget what it is supposed to be attached to, well, there's a useful reminder. Let's have a look at the back. Gently though, because I don't want to scratch the paint. There we are. And this is what we're left with at the back of the car. This piece of metal here, which actually does have some structural integrity, which that doesn't, that's just plastic of course. Now, do you remember I referred to a piece of metal as a shelf? Well, that's the other side of it, and of course I did loosen the plastic on that one as well on the off side of the car. What I couldn't see until now is that there's a third one there in the centre. I couldn't see that from underneath the car, so you may want to bear that in mind. But there we are. Good stuff. Apart from the rust, of course. Right, it's a few hours later, and if you look at my computer screen, you can see that I'm editing the video that you're watching now, which is a bit weird. But anyway, I wanted to finish by saying that when you want to reinstall the bumper, it is of course just a case of reverse what we've already done in this video. If, like me, you broke those little plastic clips, they are easily available on eBay, or you could instead replace them with some strong, good quality cable ties. But whatever you do, just make sure that bumper skin is really well attached, because, well, you don't want it falling off. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to CarSpyTV, do me a favour and click like on this video, and I'll see you next time. Bit more editing.